Hello, and welcome back to the Transition Table, the podcast where we unpack pivotal moments in business, leadership, and legacy. My name is Megan Kearney,
And I'm Diane Hartz-Worshoff.
and today we're going to be diving into an article called Three Elephants in the Room During an Owner's Exit. And over the next few minutes, Dion's going to talk about what the author really means about the three elephants and why so many exit plans fail and how business owners can prepare themselves, not just financially, but emotionally and strategically for what's next.
I think the big thing to think about is that, as we've said before, 87% of businesses never sell, but at the same time, a lot of businesses may sell, but for a far lower value than what the owner may need for retirement. And one of the first considerations when you're putting together an exit plan is a tax strategy. And we are not CPAs, we are not tax attorneys. We know CPAs and tax attorneys. And there are different strategies that you can undertake that can help with the actual liquidity event, as we call it, in exit planning. There are different ways to structure a sale that have benefits. There are different ways to generate the revenue from the sale. And these are all important considerations to think about when you are putting together your exit plan. So that's number one. Number two is succession. Whether you're selling or you're not selling, it's still important to have a succession plan in place. I worked with a client a while ago that asked for a business valuation, and it was really a horrible story. The woman who called me was the wife of the original owner. It was a machine shop business and it was doing well. And her husband and her son owned the business together. Her husband died. The son took over the business. And then sadly, the son died somewhat suddenly and somewhat young. And the daughter-in-law, A, didn't want to run the business, and B, did not have the capacity, certainly with everything else she was dealing with, to run the business. So she had reached out to me to do a valuation because they were hoping to be able to do a management buyout. And there are a couple things to consider with that. A lot of times your management might not have the financial capacity to pay for the business when you're trying to do a buyout. So that's also coming back into what the structure of the sale will look like. But also, they had no time to prepare for that because there was a sudden event that created the situation in the first place. And so when we talk about succession planning, I think one of the things we talk about a lot is that selling your business is not necessarily your plan A, but sadly, everybody will exit their business at some point. So thinking about those things now could help make whatever that transition looks like go more smoothly. The last element to think about is what's next. You don't want to retire from your business, you want to retire to something else. My husband and I have even talked about this, and we realize that when we're ready to go into retirement, that there are three key aspects of what we want to do with our lives afterwards. The first one is have some sort of physical activity, whether it's pickleball, which I tried last week, and by the way, is a lot of fun. It could be pickleball, it could be swimming, it could be something physical that keeps your body in good shape. The second is something intellectual. So, in addition to travel, which for some people is a great thing, and some of us don't even wait to retire to do a lot of traveling, but something intellectual, whether that is taking drawing classes, taking adult classes at your university, reading different kinds of books, being part of a book group, just things that stimulate your mind, also really important. And finally, something we call community-based or philanthropic. So getting involved in the community in some way. And for different people, that can look like different things. For us already, we do a lot of work with an organization called Tree Utah. We plant trees on a regular basis, and we've been involved with the board, but it's something that helps build the greater community. It could be in your church or religious organization. It could be working as a mentor. Another great resource is the SCORE program, which is where retired business owners mentor upcoming entrepreneurs. So there are a lot of choices, but the key is asking yourself, what is your why in advance? Because your business shouldn't be your whole identity. It should be a means to what those goals would be. And for everybody, those will look different, but I think they're all valid ways to live our lives with meaning after we sell our business or exit.
And I think that really wraps up those three elephants that they talk about in the article. It gives a good summary if you're considering or even helping with a business exit, whether you're a CPA or an exit strategist or a business attorney. I hope these types of insights give you a sharper lens on what to watch out for.
And there's one more thing I want to mention is that when we are performing an exit assessment, these are all things that we ask in the qualitative side of the interview. So there's a lot of value add up front because a lot of business owners are really good at what they do, but they've not thought of these other things. And so thinking about that before you need to can make a huge difference.
That sounds great.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.